All right, Dan, thank you so much. All right, hey, welcome, Skylar. What's up with the skies out there? It's still going to be hazy. I think we're warming up into warmer temperatures now, a little summer-like.
Yeah, we're warming up. So right now we've got some blue skies right now, but we were talking about this earlier this morning. So we're looking outside. You see some blue skies right now. This morning when we got up, it was very hazy because we had a very calm wind. But right now we have a south-southeast wind at about 7 miles an hour. And we've got a lot of sunshine, so we're going to be warming up. But as we head into later on today, we're going to start to see some of that haze move back in. So right now temperatures around the area warming up nicely as we head more towards the north and west. So we've got some 70 temperatures popping up at 75 in Norwood, 73 in Taunton. But we're going to keep our Cape and coastline a little bit cooler. So you're not going to warm up too much from this part of the day. So we got a lot of 60s along the Cape and the coastline. And our wind speeds are mostly out of the south, some out of the southwest. So you can kind of see how variable they are around the area, but up to about 10 miles an hour here. So for the wildfire smoke, as we start to head into later on today, you can kind of see this little black area. This is us. So that's no smoke really in the area. But as you kind of look around us, we have some of that, those different colors here. So you'll see some of this lighter smoke and haze start to fluctuate back into the area. Definitely not what we saw yesterday. It's much lighter today, so we're a little bit lucky because we have that south wind working in our favor. So those forecasted highs for today, like I said, Cape and coastline, you're not going to get too much warmer from where you're at. But as you head further inland, we do warm up as you head mostly to the north and west, especially as you head into western Mass. So upper 70s today, some 80s around the area. And what we're expecting for the rest of the week, we have this warm air that's going to be pulling into the area. So that's going to cause our temperatures to rise as we head into tomorrow and into Friday. I'm going to have more details on your forecast coming up in just a moment.
All right, Skylar, thank you. We'll see you in just a bit. And trending now, the Bristol County Bear is inching back toward our area after a number of stops in
mean business. Call DeOliveira and Associates on the Hurt line right now.
And now, your ABC 6 Storm Tracker meteorologist, Skylar Spindler.
We're looking out across Providence right now, and we've got a lot of blue skies. So we were very hazy and smoky this morning, but now those winds have picked up a bit and cleared us up. So it's very nice right now. You can kind of see off in the distance a little bit of haze. So depending on where you're located at, depends on what you're going to see. But today, not as smoky and hazy as what we saw yesterday. So you can kind of see these little black spots. That's the clearing. But as we start to head into later on this evening, we can see some more of this smoke fluttering back in. But most of the heavier smoke is much more to the west of us today. So this should be around the area just lightly as we head into our evening hours, and then again we'll probably be seeing this flutter in and out over the next couple of days. Temperatures right now, we're warming up. We're looking at 66 degrees in Providence. It's 71 in Smithfield. And we're looking at 75 in Norwood. So not too bad right now for the noon hour. We do warm up a bit as we head into the afternoon now that we have those nice clear skies. And the wind speeds not too bad either. So this southwest wind is kind of working in our favor. That is keeping the Cape area a little bit cooler. And then also for like Providence in this area is keeping a lot of that smoke away from the area. So those offshore winds from the south are really helping us out today. So today we're just expecting mostly sunny skies. A bit of hazy later on this afternoon, but not, like I said, not like what we saw yesterday. And we're going to stay cool along the Cape with that south-southwest breeze at about 5 to 10 miles an hour. So for our next low tide, that's going to come at 11:58 p.m. High tide will be at 5:49 this afternoon, and those swells are about 1 to 2 feet. So what we're expecting as we head into the rest of this week is we have a lot of warm air to the south and west of us, and this is going to start pulling in as we head into tomorrow. So tomorrow and Friday, expect those temperatures to really start to climb up, but a lot of dry air. So for today, tomorrow, Friday, and Saturday, definitely dry. We do have that front that's going to move through overnight Friday night into Saturday. That's going to be bringing some isolated showers to the area, but it's not going to be a full-on downpour event. So as we get into the overnight hours, we do have that front that's going to move through, and this is going to just pop up a couple of these showers. And again, this is going to be pretty light, and it's going to be pretty scattered around the area. So we're not going to get any downpours out of this. Next week is when we're probably going to see more of that widespread rain. But here's a look at our 7-day forecast. So today, warming up a bit into the 70s. By the time we get into Thursday, we'll be into the those mid 80s, warming up more so on Friday, but that cold front moves through overnight to dip our temperatures down into those upper 60s. So we're going to be left with a cooler Saturday and some random sparse little showers popping up here and there. And then by Sunday, we're going to keep those 60s in the forecast.
All right, loving those summer-like temps I'm seeing. Thanks, Skylar. Still to come on ABC 6 News at noon. Skip lagging. Have you heard of it? Well, it can save you money on your summer travel plans. Who gathered the bees? Once the bees were gone, they treated the area so other bees would not return. That is a lot of bees.
That's an interesting story for sure. All right,
Yeah, not like that.
Let's take a quick look outside. So real quick, I just want to show you guys a different shot because there is some haze off to the horizon here. We're just really lucky in Providence with the winds, where the wind direction is coming in for us, so it's working in our favor. But we should see some of that wildfire smoke later on today. So it'll make a nice sunset, so I'll take some photos and send it in. But here's a look at the 7-day one last time.
All right, thanks. The news continues first at 4. We'll see you back here for your news at noon next time. Have a great day. May 31st, we made our way through May, and let's get a check of that forecast with meteorologist Skylar Spindler. She's here at 6:01 with your first forecast.
Well, we're looking outside right now, 48 degrees in Providence. Winds are calm right now. So if you kind of look in the distance here, we got some of that haze just lingering around. That's just because those winds are calm, so it's not really pushing any of that smoke out of the area. So temperatures around our area this morning, most of us sitting in those upper 40s, a couple of 50s, Hyannis sitting at 52 degrees, Newport at 51, but not too bad, 50 in Westerly this morning. Here's a look at that wildfire smoke moving in from Nova Scotia. So it's just moving right on into the area, but because we have a southwest wind today, that's kind of going to start to keep it away from us as much. So we're not going to get as smoky as what we saw yesterday, but then we will have times where it'll clear out and then it'll move back in. So this will kind of flutter in and out of the area through the day with this band of smoke that we have here. So if you are sensitive to smoke or you're a part of those sensitive groups, make sure you limit your outdoor activity this afternoon. If you need to, wear a mask or even use air purifiers to kind of help you breathe a little bit better. So visibility this morning, because it's so calm outside, a few areas having some patchy fog. So just use some caution this morning as you're getting up with those hazy skies and the little calm winds, and patchy fog makes our visibility very much so reduced. So sustained winds right now, we can see it's calm up by Smithfield. Some winds are starting to pick up a little bit, a little variable right now, but up to about 5-7 miles an hour. So for today, we'll be hazy. We're going to be cooler along the Cape and the coastline. We'll have those southwest winds 5 to 10 miles an hour. So it'll kind of help move some of that smoke out of the area. But as you head further inland, we'll be warming up much more. And you can see the warmer temperatures as you head more to the north and the west. I'm going to have more details on your forecast in just a moment.
All right, Skylar, thank you. We begin now with our top story at 6:02. A stone building inside Breton State Park will soon be demolished after collapsing earlier this week and sending 3 kids to the hospital. Good morning, Providence reporter Yanni Tregellis is in the 6 Sky Cam. Have some hazy skies out there. Let's send it over to meteorologist Skylar Spindler. She has your forecast on the 6th. Good morning, Skylar.
Yeah, good morning. We're looking at those hazy skies around the area. You can kind of see just how much that's just kind of dropping down over us right now as we look on our smoky, hazy sky cam this morning. So here's a look at this wildfire smoke. So it is moving in from Nova Scotia, and this is just pulling into the area. So right now, because the winds are pretty calm outside, it's just keeping that coverage of smoke over the area. So expect this to kind of flutter in and out of the area because we'll have those southwest winds today. So that'll kind of help it, but then again, it'll start to increase in and out. So just expect that to be moving through the day for much of the day. So right now, Providence is 48 degrees. Winds are calm, but they'll start to pick up here shortly. And that'll kind of help move some of that smoke out of the area. Current temperatures as you're waking up, we're in the upper 40s, some 50s around the area, 50 up in Boston, 50 in Westerly this morning. Those forecasted highs for today, so we're going to keep our Cape and our coastline in the 60s. And then as we start to move into the afternoon, we'll see these temperatures warm as we head much further north and inland and west. So as we have that southwest breeze moving across the water, that's going to keep all of our coastal areas a little bit cooler for today, but I'm going to have your full forecast and details coming up here in just a moment.
All right, let's send it out to our ABC 6 Sky Cam with a look at
Checking out some of the visibility here around the area. A couple areas with some patchy fog. We're looking over in Pawtucket about a quarter of a mile. A few areas, New Bedford, about 5 miles of visibility, and then Martha's Vineyard, 1 mile of visibility. So that's just because we had some calm winds overnight and it just settled down. So we had some of that fog settling in those low-lying areas. And for the rest of us, we're getting some of that smoky haze around the area. So it's starting to lift a little bit as the winds start to pick up this morning, but we've been calm, so it's kind of keeping that smoke lingering around as well. So by the time we get into the later morning hours, we'll have moments where we'll see some blue skies because of that southwest wind moving in, kind of pushing it away from us. But again, we're going to have some of this just fluttering in and out of the area throughout the day today. So today is going to be a moderate air quality day, and that will be especially for those people that are sensitive to this type of smoke that's in the atmosphere. So you might want to be able to use a mask today. An indoor air purifier will help. Just limit your outdoor activities as well. And like I said, it's going to be moderate, so it'll be unhealthy for sensitive groups, so asthma and things like that. All right, temperatures this morning as you're waking up, we're in the 40s and upper 40s around the area. Some of us already in the 50s. Boston sitting at 50 degrees, Taunton at 50 degrees. And then even as we look out on the Cape here, we're looking at 52 in Hyannis this morning. So sustained winds starting to pick up just a bit. Some areas still pretty calm. In those areas where it's calm, again, you can see some of that patchy fog and they have some of that lingering smoke around. But as the winds start to pick up around the area, it kind of helps disperse some of that smoke out of the area. So moving into the morning, later in the morning, we do warm up into those upper 50s. We'll be in the 60s by 10 a.m. And then by the time we get to the afternoon, we'll keep our Cape and our coastline cooler just because we have that southwest breeze moving across the water. So it'll keep you a little bit cooler, but as you head further inland, we'll be warming up a bit. So keep us hazy throughout the day with those south-southwest winds, 5 to 10 miles an hour. And out in Newport, we've already seen our high tide come and go. So the low tide will be at 11 a.m. Swells are about 1 to 2 feet, and the water temperature is 59 degrees. It's going to be dry as we head through the week. So we are still in this dry, warm trend. So you may want to water the lawn between now and Saturday. Saturday, we do have some isolated showers that are going to move into the area just because of the cold front that's going to dip into the area, and that's just going to fire up some little showers around the area. So this is going to be very scattered, so it doesn't look like it on this map, but we are expecting these areas to get some of those little scattered showers on Saturday. So 7-day forecast, a little bit cooler today, but as you head further inland, we'll be warming up. Into Thursday, we warm up even more so. We'll be in the 80s, upper 80s by the time we get into Friday. Cold front moves through overnight Friday night into Saturday morning, and that's going to bring some of those little spotty showers around the area. We're not going to warm up too much. We'll be in those upper 60s for our weekend.
All right, Skylar, thank you. At 6:19, now to a focus story right there to uplift you on this Wednesday. All right, let's send it over to meteorologist Skylar Spindler for a check of your forecast on the 6th.
Well, we're going to be warming up quickly this morning. We'll be in those lower 50s as you head either out the door to the school bus or even off to work. And by the time we head home today, it's going to be hazy outside. We'll be in those lower 70s for most of us and some 60s around the Cape area, the coastline. So here's a look at the hourly temperature grade as we move into the afternoon. So we can see we'll be in those 70s. We'll have sunshine, but this is going to be very hazy. It's going to be a filtered sunshine through the day today. So here's a look at those forecasted highs. So like I said, coastline Cape will be a little cooler. That's because we have a southwest breeze moving across, that cooler water that's going to keep you guys cooler along the Cape area. But as you head further inland, a little bit warmer. We'll be in those 80s as you head much further into western Mass. So wildfire smoke moving through the area today. So don't be alarmed. That's going to be around the area for much of the day today, not as bad as yesterday. So today, not going to probably warm up as much as we would like to, but tomorrow we'll be in the 80s, warming up even more so on Friday. But a cold front moves through Friday night, bringing us some little spotty showers on Saturday and cooler temperatures.
All right, thanks, Skylar. Let's head out to those roads.
Well, we're looking outside right now, 48 degrees in Providence. Winds are still calm this morning. We can kind of see some of this haze off into the distance, and that's going to be with us for much of the day today. A couple of visibility concerns this morning as you're getting up and making your way out the door and heading off to your commute. If you're heading up to Boston, the Pawtucket area has a bit reduced visibility, so we're seeing some patchy fog around the area. New Bedford looking at 5 miles visibility, and even all the way over in Plymouth, 7 miles visibility. Martha's Vineyard has 1 mile visibility this morning. That's because we've been pretty calm in the overnight. So winds will start to pick up a little variable around the area, about up to 5 and even 7 miles an hour. But as we get into later on in the day, we will have some of those winds coming in from the southwest. So that'll kind of help our area clear up a bit, but we will still keep that hazy skies with us for much of the day today. So we can see these little bands and plumes of smoke that'll be kind of moving in and out of the area through the day today. Not as bad as what we saw yesterday, but just expect it to be around through the evening hours. But it would give you a nice sunset as you head into the evening hours. So for today, we're going to be mostly sunny but hazy. We're going to be cooler along the Cape and the coastline area because we do have that southwest breeze moving across 5 to 10 miles an hour. As you head further inland, you'll see those temperatures rising, especially as you head up into western Mass. So see some of those 80s just north of us. But again, like I said, most of us will stay in those upper 60s or so along the Cape and the coastline, and then warming as we move further inland. I'm going to have more details on your forecast in just a moment.
Okay, Skylar, thank you. We'll see you in just a bit. At 6:32 happening now, Congress readies to debate the debt ceiling deal. And after narrowly passing a House committee vote, the measure is on track for a crucial floor vote today. Schindler has your forecast on the 6th.
Well, the smoke isn't so bad down on the surface level, but if we just look outside a little bit up into the upper atmosphere, we can see that haze just lingering around right now, and that's going to be with us for much of the day today. So right now, Providence, 48 degrees. Winds are still pretty calm outside, so we're not really pushing this out very quickly, but the winds will start to pick up here shortly as we get into the later morning hours. So here's a look at those temperatures around the area. If you're heading up to Boston, it's 50 degrees there, 50 in Taunton, a lot of 50s this morning. Even out in Chatham, 54 degrees. Block Island coming in at 50 this morning. So here's those forecasted highs as we move through the day today. So we're going to keep the Cape and the coastline in those 60s. So as that southwest breeze moves across the area, that'll keep you a little bit cooler because the water temperature is about 59 degrees over here. So as this moves across, it'll keep you guys a little bit cooler. But as you head further inland, you see those 70s and stretching up into the 80s as we head north and even into western Mass, where you're going to see those nicer 80s. But that haze will just be lingering over the sky. So that'll help filter some of that sun, so some of us won't warm up as much as the models are projecting that we would be warming up to. So wildfire smoke this morning. You can kind of see we've had some moments of clearing, but not too much. So some areas more clearing than others. But again, this little ribbon of smoke that we see here is going to flutter in and out of the area because of the wind speed directions and just how it's going to interact with our sea breezes and our winds. So it will keep some of the surface like much clearer at times, but moving into the later afternoon, we can kind of see that flutter right back in. So could leave a really nice sunset this evening because you'll have that red glow from the sky. So visibility this morning, a couple of concerns by Pawtucket, looking at a quarter of a mile, and then all the way over into Plymouth on the south shore, we're looking at about 7 miles visibility. Martha's Vineyard has about 1 mile visibility right now, but again, as those winds start to pick up a little bit, that fog will lift as we get into the later morning hours. So I'll have more details on your full forecast coming up in just a moment.
Demolishing this as early as today.
It's like burying them.
Rhiannon Alley, ABC News, New York.
And now, your ABC 6 Storm Tracker meteorologist, Skylar Spindler.
We're taking a look outside and we have some sun here, but it's very hazy. We got a couple of clouds in the area as well because we've had some pretty calm winds this morning. So we started to see some of that visibility concerns as well around the area. But the wildfire smoke that's moving into the area is just going to be fluttering in and out today. Not as bad as what we saw yesterday because it was very close to the surface, but we did move out. But for today, we're going to see some of this just fluttering in and out of the area throughout the day. So it is going to be a moderate day for anyone with sensitive groups, so asthma and such. So limit your outdoor activity today, this afternoon. And if you need to, use an air purifier indoors and wear a mask outdoors. So temperatures right now, as you're waking up, we're in those 40s and 50s around the area. 50 degrees in Westerly. It's 50 in Taunton. If you're heading up to Boston this morning, 50 degrees. Looking out along the Cape, it's 48 in Falmouth, 42 in Martha's Vineyard this morning. Winds right now, a little variable, pretty light. Some of us mostly calm and up to 3 to 6 miles an hour. But the winds do start to pick up a little bit later on today, and we'll see them out of the southwest. So as we move into the 9 o'clock hour, we'll see those upper 50s around the area. And then moving into later on today, we'll start to get into those 60s. We'll stay warmer as we start to move much further north and west. But along the Cape and the coastline, we'll keep you in those 60s throughout the day today. So what we can expect is it'll be mostly sunny throughout the day, but it's going to be very hazy today. We'll keep it much cooler along the Cape and the coastline, and that's just because we have that southwest breeze moving across the water, and that's just going to keep it a little bit cooler for you. So marine forecast, we've already seen our high tide come and go. Our low tide will be at 11 a.m. this morning, and those swells will be 1 to 2 feet today. So here's what we can expect for the rest of the week. We have this warming trend moving in, so we have this warm air from the west moving into our area. And that's going to allow those temperatures to rise, but it's also going to keep us very dry as we head into the rest of our week. So for your lawn forecast, go ahead and make sure you take care of it, because we are going to be dry through the rest of this week. Now, we do have a cold front that's going to be moving through on Friday, and that's going to bring some isolated showers on Saturday and some cooler temperatures. So here's what I'm talking about. So the front will move through overnight, and it'll bring just some light little showers to the area. This is not a full-on event for our area. So again, this is going to be very scattered, because this is a little bit of a long-range model prediction, but through the areas it'll catch some rain. Again, like I said, it'll be pretty light. So we're not going to get a whole lot of rain out of this. The actual next rainmaker will be after this forecast. So we're looking at next week now. So for now, we're looking at warming up into the 70s. Today will be hazy. Tomorrow, warming up even more so in the 80s, upper 80s by Friday. Cold front moves through overnight Friday night into Saturday morning, bringing some spotty showers and cooler temperatures for the weekend.
All right, thank you, Skylar. 6:49. Good morning, Providence, covering entertainment. Let's get you outside at 5:06 on this Wednesday morning. Seeing that haze out there still lingering in the skies. Let's send it over to meteorologist Skylar Spindler for a check of that forecast on the 6th.
Yeah, we're looking out across the area, and it is a little hazy this morning. That's just because it's very calm, so we don't have a lot of winds right now to kind of push this on out. So with those calm winds, that smoke just kind of sits there. Now, when the winds do start to pick up a bit, that'll kind of help push it on out. But the Nova Scotia fire is really not too far from us. So I believe this is about 400 miles away, or nautical miles from us. So that's actually just working its way into the area, this little plume. And so you can kind of see as we get into the afternoon hour, it's not going to be too bad. We do have a southwest wind that's going to be pushing in, so that should help clear us up at the surface, though again we'll see some of those hazy skies up higher. And then as we move through the day, you can kind of see some of these plumes coming in depending on the direction of our wind, because we do have some shifty wind later on today. So this morning, now through about 8 a.m., we're mostly clear outside, and some of us in the south areas could see some patchy fog this morning just because it is so calm. We have an interesting temperature spread right now this morning, but the winds, like I said, are out of the south about 5 to 10 miles an hour as we start to get into the morning hours. So calm now, but then they'll start to pick up a little bit. That'll kind of help move that smoke out. Providence sitting at 49 degrees, and again, those winds are calm, so it's going to stay pretty hazy this morning until those winds do start to pick up out of the south. So temperatures around the area, we're mostly in the 40s and some low 50s this morning as we're waking up. 34 in Martha's Vineyard, it's 50 in Block Island, but again, most of us just sitting in those upper 40s. So for today, what we're expecting is mostly sunny with that haze along the sky, cool along the Cape, and those winds will be shifting here shortly, south-southwest, 5 to 10 miles an hour. I'll have your full forecast in just a moment.
All right, let's take a look outside with our ABC6 Skycam at Thurbers Avenue right now. Seeing our early risers on the road. Let's get you over to
Meteorologist Skylar Spindler.
We're looking across Providence, and that haze is lifting a little bit, so we can kind of see a little better. But again, we just have some hazy skies from the wildfire smoke. So some of us aren't seeing as much of that wildfire smoke right now. But as we start to move into the morning hours, you can kind of see those southwest winds will kind of help us a little bit as they move across and kind of push some of the smoke out of the surface. But again, as the winds start to die down a bit and they shift throughout the day, then we'll see some of this fluctuating right back into our area. So if you're a part of the sensitive group and you might be sensitive to, say, the smoke outside, just limit your outdoor activity today. It will be moderate, so if you need to use an air purifier or even a mask as you're outdoors in the afternoon time. So temperatures this morning, not too bad. It's feeling pretty nice out this morning. 49 in Providence, 45 in Smithfield. If you're heading up to Boston, it's 49 degrees there. So most of us in those upper 40s. We had those calm winds this morning, and you can kind of see right now most of us sitting pretty calm around the area. Winds have started to pick up in some areas up to about 5 miles an hour, but that will start to change as we get into the later morning hours. So we do warm up into the 50s by 8 o'clock. So we'll see that. And then as we start to move into the morning hours, again, we just start to slowly warm up. But the problem is because we have a lot of haze in the sky that filters the sunshine. So some of us will not warm up as warm as we were expecting we should, just because that filter across the sky. However, some areas up to 80 degrees today. So depending on where you're at, we're going to keep the Cape and the coastline a little bit cooler, and then we'll see those warmer temperatures moving further inland. That hazy sky will be with us for much of the day today. Winds will be out of the south-southwest, 5 to 10 miles an hour. So again, the winds will push some of the smoke out away from the surface, and still it'll be lingering up high, so it's going to allow that filter. But if you're heading out to the ocean, maybe Newport area, 1 to 2 foot swells today. We already saw our high tide come in at 5:16. The low tide is going to be in at 11 a.m. And then we do have that water temperature at 59 degrees. So we're going into a dry stretch as we head through the week, and what's left of it. So today we're going to be dry, tomorrow dry, Friday we're dry and warm, and then we have a front that's going to move through, and that's going to give us some isolated showers as we head into the overnight Friday night into Saturday. So if you have a lawn, it might be suffering a bit. Just give it a little bit of water in the evening hours just to kind of spruce it up before we get our next round of rain, because our next real rainmaker isn't coming till next week. But here's what we're looking at. When that front moves through on Saturday, we'll catch some spotty little showers. This looks a lot more intense than what it is. And that's because this is a longer range model. But again, we'll just see some little spotty pop-up showers into overnight Friday night into Saturday morning. Not going to get a whole lot out of this, so just some sprinkles here and there and little short showers. So today, not too warm. We'll be in those 70s. Moving up to tomorrow, we'll be in those mid 80s. Same for Friday. Cold front moves through overnight, and then we dip down a bit for Saturday. So Saturday and Sunday is going to be a bit cooler, but really it's going to be mostly seasonable temperatures. We're just getting used to these warmer temps moving into the area. And then we start to warm up a bit on Monday. And then by Tuesday, again, like I said, we're going to have some showers moving in next week. So our actual real rainmakers really isn't supposed to be moving in until after the end of this forecast. So after Tuesday, early into Wednesday. So yeah, take care of that.
Yeah, people are loving that. People are very pumped about the week's temps. People are pumped about the weekend. It's nice seeing all the sun out there.
Yeah, not too bad. I mean, upper 60s is still not that bad for temperature-wise. So it's not going to be cold. It'll be, I think, comfortable.
Still early June, so we're not into those New England summer warm temps yet. We're easing into it. That's nice.
Yeah, no, this is good that we're easing into those temperatures, so I'll take it.
All right, great. Thanks, Skylar. At 5:51, Good Morning Providence covering entertainment news. Did Ted prep?
In Providence, I'm Daniel Coates, ABC 6 News.
And now, your ABC 6 Storm Tracker meteorologist, Skylar Spindler.
Well, taking a look across Providence, and we do have some hazy skies. We have some calm winds right now, and so that's just kind of letting that smoke haze just kind of hang over the area. Now, once those winds start to pick up a little bit, that'll kind of clear it off the surface. So by the time we get into about 10:30, you can kind of see exactly just where the smoky haze will be. Some areas more so than others, depending on the location and the wind speed. But again, so as the winds calm down a bit, we do get a little more of that smoke just hanging over us. And so I don't think it's going to be as bad as what we saw yesterday. But yes, today, moderate air quality levels. So if you are part of the sensitive groups, just use caution today. Maybe limit your outdoor activities this afternoon until this haze kind of clears out. So temperatures right now, not too bad as we're waking up. 49 in Providence, 45 in Smithfield. If you're headed up to Boston, it's 49. And then looking out over the Cape, a little cool spot, 39 degrees in Falmouth, but in Hyannis, 49 this morning. So not so bad. We stayed pretty clear in the overnight hours. And as we start to warm up this morning, we'll see those 50s by the time we get to about 7 a.m. So sun will be coming up. Winds will start to pick up out of the south-southwest today, and that'll kind of help clear some of that smoke. But we'll be warming up pretty nicely today. Now, with the haze along the atmosphere, it'll kind of filter the sun a bit. So we may not warm up exactly as warm as we were thinking, just because that haze just kind of keeps us from warming as quickly. But some areas, we're looking in the 80s today. So depending on where you're at, we got an interesting stretch of temperatures from 60s along the Cape and the coastline, moving further inland, getting warmer today. So we'll see that throughout the day. So trending for today and tomorrow, we're going to be warming up. Mostly sunny today, but hazy, cooler along the Cape and the coastline areas. But those winds will be shifting out of the south-southwest about 5 to 10 miles an hour. So that should clear our surface area from the smoke. As far as our marine forecast, we're looking at about 1 to 2 foot swells today, and the low tide will be coming in at 11 a.m. High tide is right about now, 5:16 a.m. And again, those southeast winds about 5 to 10 miles an hour. It's pretty dry. We're not really expecting any rain through this forecast. We're going to catch some sprinkles moving through towards the weekend. So some little isolated showers and sprinkles throughout the Cape and along our coastline and northern area, but it's not going to be a whole lot of rain. So should you water your lawn? Probably so. It's getting really dry. So you might want to stay on top of that and water in the evenings when the sun goes down. So future cast. So here's what I'm talking about. So we have the front moving through late Friday night. That's going to bring some spot showers. So this is more scattered showers, not so widespread as what this map is showing, but you can kind of see as we get into Saturday morning, again, a couple of spot showers here and there. This is very light rain, so this is not the whole area because this model is a little too far out, but just to give you an idea, really looking at some spotty showers along the Cape and the coastline for Saturday. So 7-day forecast, here's what we're thinking. So today warming up to those 70s. Tomorrow will be in the 80s. It'll be very nice. So 84 tomorrow, 87 by Friday. Moving into Saturday, because that cold front moves through, we're only going to be in the 70s, but again, we could see some of those spotty little showers here and there, and then we'll be back into the 70s by Monday.
All right.